Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Spot On Weather meteorologist Matthew Euler. Welcome to my latest daily forecast for the 3rd of October, 2025. So let's go ahead and examine some things here. Let me see if I can do something here real quick. All right, so on the left-hand side, we have our current weather for this morning, the 3rd of October. This is from this morning, the 3rd of October, 2025. And you'll notice on the satellite image here, the visible satellite imagery, we don't have a lot in the way of cloud cover. There's a lot of clear skies across Virginia, right on into North Carolina. Much of the clouds that were really hampering us yesterday afternoon, some of those lower stratocumulus clouds are now further offshore. So the gradient of the northeast winds has relaxed, so the winds have abated a bit, and we don't see that much of the cloud cover that we saw yesterday. We do see some scattered clouds out there nonetheless, but we're going to see a lot more sunshine today as compared to yesterday. Over on the right hand side, this is the latest set of morning observations. We're still seeing that northeast wind, but it's not nearly as strong as the past couple days at the Norfolk International Airport. Northeast winds at around 10 knots, and that's it. Even calmer winds in towards Charlottesville. We have a calm wind there. We have very light northwesterly winds, only about 5 knots there in Richmond. So the wind across the region as a whole has definitely decreased over the past 24 hours. You see some of these temperatures this morning. It was a cool morning across southeastern Virginia. I had a temperature here of about 54 degrees early this morning, so quite a chilly morning as the winds kind of let up and you had some clearer skies and allow for some good radiational cooling overnight and into the morning hours. So here are my main weather headlines for today's video. We're looking at a gorgeous fall weekend ahead with plenty of sunshine, light winds, cool mornings, and warm afternoons. High pressure will be firmly established across the region. So get out there and really enjoy, these cool mornings and the warm afternoons with all that sunshine. Perfect weekend if you got outdoor plans across Hampton Roads cities. The high temperatures across Hampton Roads will warm between 75 and 80 degrees from Monday, the 6th of October, through next Wednesday, the 8th of October. So we will see some very mild afternoons coming up for sure. The winds are going to basically switch around more to the light southeasterly direction, and that's going to allow a little bit of an increase in moisture as well as the dew points creep back up into the lower 60s. We will see a cold front along with some showers moving in next Wednesday, the 8th of October, and that really has not changed much over the last couple days, the forecast for the timing of the showers and this cold frontal passage. Cooler air is expected for Thursday, the 9th of October, as well as Friday, the 10th of October next week. So we will be warmer there Monday through Wednesday next week, but then we will cool back down late next week on the 9th and 10th. All right, so let's look at the weather analysis here for tomorrow. We're looking at tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, the 4th of October, 2025. On the upper level chart here, the 500 millibar height anomalies, we see upper level ridging extending into the Gulf of Alaska. So very much a strong ridge in place there. Downstream from that, we see in the blue colors the troughing, the upper level trough, and this closed low situated there over the southwestern portions of Wyoming, followed by an upper level ridge, which is really making things well above normal across the upper Midwest, right on down to the Midwest itself, as well as parts of the northern plains for this weekend. It's going to be near record high territory for many cities in association with this upper level ridge for the coming weekend. And then we see a weak closed low and troughing across the North Atlantic Ocean, followed by some height rises and more building heights there just to the southeast of Greenland across the North Atlantic. Over on the right-hand side, you can kind of see where the precipitation will be falling for Saturday afternoon, the 4th of October. We've got high pressure, firm control of the weather across the mid-Atlantic. We do see some easterly winds and some continued unsettled weather across Florida and the Gulf. And then we do see a 999 millibar low situated there across northeastern Colorado, We do see a cold front that's now starting to make its move a little bit further to the southeast. We do see showers and even some scattered thunderstorms across North Dakota for tomorrow afternoon, as well as showers into Montana, parts of Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, and the western portions of Colorado. And we still do see some scattered rain showers there across the Pacific Northwest into Washington and parts of Oregon. Forecast for the 5th of October 2025, this Sunday afternoon. Well, we see troughing now coming down through the Bering Sea, and just east and southeast of that, we see that strong upper level ridge, the ridge axis reorientating itself. Instead of a north to south orientation, we see more of that southwest to northeast orientation of the ridge axis. But nonetheless, we still have higher heights and ridging across the northeast Pacific for Sunday afternoon. The ridging does extend a little bit further to the north there across the state of Alaska itself, up towards the Arctic Ocean. And then downstream from that, we see troughing across central Canada. And I was trying to change my color scheme here to more of a black color. You really can't see that now, though. I was kind of playing around with it. I got some feedback about, yeah, the red sometimes aren't as easily seen here in these orange colors here. So I was trying to adjust it there. But nonetheless, we got troughing for Sunday afternoon, generally across the central U.S., generally extending really down to Intermountain West, more so than the central U.S. And then upper level ridge is going to be dominant across parts of the mid-Atlantic. They'll be positioned right beneath the ridge on up into southeastern Canada, including New England. So we expect the warmth to eventually spread towards New England based on the shifting of this upper level ridge. And then there's an upper level trough across the North Atlantic. Over on the right-hand side, the precip forecast, a lot of unsettled weather along the Gulf Coast, as well as Florida, parts of Georgia and South Carolina for Sunday afternoon. We see there's a 1027 millibar high situated over the western Atlantic to the east of the Bay Capes. And additionally, we have a 995 millibar low over parts of southern and south central Canada, with precip extending back into northwest Minnesota for Sunday afternoon and parts of eastern North Dakota, scattered showers across South Dakota, and we have more unsettled weather across portions of Wyoming as well as portions of Montana. Looking at the temperature anomalies now on the left for the 4th of October, this Saturday afternoon, the cooler colors are the greens and the blues, indicate below normal temperatures across the western United States for Saturday afternoon. We see well above normal air temperatures extending across the Dakotas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and central Illinois, as well as Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. You are running 20 to 25 degrees above normal for the early October time period. Just a very warm weekend across the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. And that does start to spread a little bit further to the east as that ridge axis shifts east. Over on the right-hand side, you see what we have going on for Sunday afternoon. The temperature anomalies for the 5th of October, cooler than normal readings are now across parts of Montana and Wyoming with the green coloring. Temperatures running 12 to as much as 16 degrees below normal. And we do see cooler temperatures expanding all the way back west towards Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Utah as well. And you clearly see where this frontal boundary is, this cold front. Out ahead of it, you got really, really mild air. And we're talking Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois again, as well as Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York State, working our way up to Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Massachusetts, you're running about 14 to 16 degrees above normal in Boston. For Sunday afternoon, really the cooler readings are across Florida, slightly below normal, associated with the rain, showers, and the cloud coverage. Looking ahead now, forecast here on the left, the 500 millibar height anomalies for Monday, the 6th of October, 2025. Upper level ridging and building heights extend towards the Aleutian Island chain. A trough is just downstream of that through the Kodiak, Alaska area. We have troughing. And then there's another upper level ridge that's building, generally across the western portions of Canada. Downstream from that ridge, over the western portions of Canada, we have a deep upper level trough. Closed low just to the northern portions of Hudson Bay, and it extends, that trough axis extends towards the southwest across central portions of Canada. And then there is an upper level ridge that still continues to maintain its grip just off the eastern seaboard. So temperatures are going to be running well above normal beneath the ridge and even extending further north along the ridge axis all the way up into the eastern Canada area and the Canadian Maritimes. There will be troughing generally downstream of that strong upper level ridge across the North Atlantic. Over on the right-hand side, we have a cold front right along this area here where you see this thin stretched out area of showers. There is a cold front extending from the lower portion of Michigan across Lake Michigan itself down to southern Wisconsin and the eastern Iowa, as well as parts of northwestern Missouri and eastern Kansas. There's going to be a front located at this location for Monday afternoon. We do see the blue dash lines up here over Canada. Those are indicative of lowering thicknesses, and thickness and temperatures are directly proportional to each other. So the lower these thickness values get, the cooler the air temperatures will get as well. We do see that 1027 millibar high for Monday afternoon, the 6th of October, still situated off the west or the western Atlantic, off the east coast of the United States. There may be a few scattered showers trying to work their way in towards the outer banks for Monday. Additionally, we have more unsettled weather across the southwestern Atlantic into parts of Florida. That remains into the central Gulf. We do see scattered showers and thunderstorms across Mississippi, Louisiana, and parts of the Memphis area, extending northeast towards the Ohio River itself up towards Cincinnati. Dry out west for Monday afternoon, the 6th of October. Not much going on out in the western portion of the United States. Forecast for 7 October 2025, we see the upper level ridge is upper high and the ridge axis extending and continuing to extend north towards the Bering Sea in western Alaska. Downstream from that, we have a trough, which has now worked its way into western Canada. And then there's another, not as strong of a ridge, but it's still a ridge itself. The ridge axis extending north from Montana through central Canada. And then towards eastern Canada, we have some deep troughing that's occurring across Hudson Bay and even parts further south from that. And then we do have this upper level ridge off the eastern seaboard. It's starting to flatten. The flow is starting to become more zonal by Tuesday afternoon, starting to become more zonal flow west to east. We do see the highest heights now migrated further to the north, just to the east and southeast of Greenland. And there will still be a weak trough there across the North Atlantic for Tuesday afternoon, the 7th of October. Over here on the right-hand side, we see a lot more shower activity kind of working its way along the cold front as it comes southeast. So parts of the eastern Canada, Toronto included in that. You see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, as well as parts of New York State, working our way down towards Lake Erie. And you see over across northeastern Ohio, some scattered showers and storms for Tuesday afternoon ahead of the cold front, extending southwestward towards parts of Kentucky, western Tennessee, parts of northwestern Mississippi, and eastern Arkansas. There's a 1026 millibar high that has now arrived on the scene, generally positioned over eastern North Dakota. And on the front side of this high, we have clockwise flow of air, so the winds are going to be out of the north, generally across these areas that have been so unseasonably warm. Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan, you're finally going to get a cool down by Tuesday after this cold front passes. You're finally going to get a cool down here on the 7th of October. We do see some scattered showers additionally from Florida working their way up the Carolinas by Tuesday. Looking ahead now at the temperature anomalies on the left for the 6th of October for Monday afternoon. Again, that cold front is clearly delineated by this difference in well above normal temperatures across Missouri, Illinois, lower Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, parts of West Virginia, as well as Pennsylvania, New York State, and all the way up to Maine. This is just running well above normal. It's going to be mild for Monday afternoon ahead of the front. These warmer temperatures go all the way up into eastern Canada. So really, really impressive. You see the blue colors and the green colors. That indicates cooler temperatures across the northern states there, the northern plains, back towards the Intermountain West. We see cooler than normal readings. Over here on the right-hand side, it's temperature anomalies for Tuesday afternoon, the 7th of October. We've kind of lost a little bit of that cooling trend there across the Wyoming and eastern Colorado and parts of the Intermountain West. It's still running slightly below normal, but not as distinct as the Monday afternoon map over here on the left. We do see some very warm, mild temperatures extending from eastern Tennessee into West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Southeast PA, you could be running 15 degrees above normal for next Tuesday, the 7th of October, and then parts of New York State up to Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York City, you're running about 15 degrees above normal next Tuesday. Maine, you're running 20 degrees plus above normal for next Tuesday afternoon. So not much in the way of blue on this map for next Tuesday afternoon, is there? Forecast now for the 8th of October, 500 millibar height anomalies here on the left. We still see strong ridging into Alaska. We see an upper level trough digging a little bit deeper now into parts of British Columbia, as well as in towards Seattle area. There will be an upper level ridge generally located across the northern plains up towards southern Canada. And then we see another upper level trough extending south, working its way now east of Hudson Bay. It's kind of migrating towards the east. And then we see an upper level trough, which is very weak across the North Atlantic. Over on the right-hand side, we have scattered showers and even maybe some isolated thunderstorms right along southeastern Virginia area for Wednesday afternoon, the 8th of October, as this cool front kind of pushes south. So you see where the leading edge is delineated with these green colors, these rain showers out ahead of the front into Tennessee, parts of northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia as well. So we have a 1031 millibar high by next Wednesday afternoon, the 8th of October. Clockwise flow around it, we're bringing some lower thicknesses in down to the mid-Atlantic, and that's going to result in that cool front pushing through, and we will see some cooler temperatures to follow. Across a lot of the Intermountain West, it's dry for next Wednesday, the 8th of October. We do see some scattered showers moving into the Seattle area, as well as parts of northwestern Washington state. Additionally, we see unsettled weather across the Gulf and parts of South Florida. Looking ahead now to the 9th of October, next Thursday afternoon, the upper level ridging persists across the Gulf of Alaska. We see a closed upper level low just off the northwestern coast of the Pacific area there. So we have troughing just offshore of Oregon and Washington state. Additionally, we see upper level high or the normal heights here with ridging across parts of southeastern Canada. We do see some below normal heights and more troughing looks there across Greenland and parts of the Arctic area. There will be a trough axis extending generally southeast across Canadian Maritimes towards Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. And then we see up above normal heights there across the North Atlantic for next Thursday afternoon. And over here on the right-hand side, we have 1031, 1032 millibar high pressure just in the Gulf of Maine. The flow around is going to direct more onshore winds into Hampton Roads and southeastern Virginia by next Thursday afternoon, the 9th of October. We do see the front, some of the modeling now is starting to show this front maybe slowing down or maybe even stalling out over the Carolinas by next Thursday. So we'll have to watch this trend. We do see some scattered showers and thunderstorms even embedded within these particular showers across southeastern Tennessee by next Thursday. Across Florida, well below as far as the cloud coverage goes, it's still going to be in place with the showers across Florida. And then we see a 1001 millibar low pressure system approaching the coast of the Pacific Northwest by next Thursday with a frontal boundary extending southwest from the low pressure system. So shower activity moves in to the coastal Oregon and Washington state area. Here are the temperature anomalies on the left for next Wednesday, the 8th of October, showing a cool down across New England. Temperatures are running anywhere from 3 to 5 degrees below normal for New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, and across southeastern Canada. We do see a cool down across the mid-Atlantic states behind the front. Temperatures are getting more closer to average by this point next Wednesday afternoon. We do see milder temps still ahead of the cold front itself across southern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. And then we see this warm area again reestablishing itself across the northern plains, Montana and Wisconsin and Minnesota. We do see cooler temperatures associated with that trough coming in across coastal Washington state and Oregon, and parts of western Canada, including British Columbia. Over on the right-hand side, temperature anomalies for next Thursday afternoon, the 9th of October, showing cooler than normal temperatures up and down the west coast of the United States. And then we still have this area that's just reestablishing itself again. Central U.S., northern plains, we're talking temperatures from Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and south of North Dakota, eastern Montana, eastern Wyoming, eastern Colorado, parts of Missouri, Iowa, and Minnesota. They're running above normal again. And we're talking anywhere from 12 up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit above normal here. cooler than normal readings, slightly cooler to average readings across Virginia, working our way up towards New Jersey, New York City, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, up towards Maine. Now, I wanted to show you the EPS, the European Ensemble Prediction System forecast. Now, this is for the Norfolk, Virginia Airport. The EPS is on the left, and the GFS ensemble, is on the right. So, despite the fact that some of these models are potentially showing not as cool air mass behind the cold front next Wednesday, the 8th of October, the ensembles are still indicating a cool down. Okay, so if we look at the Norfolk International Airport in both cases, on the left I have the European Ensemble Prediction System. Notice the high temperatures. They do warm up Tuesday. It's showing, this particular model is showing the cold front coming through a little bit earlier on Wednesday, so the temperatures only get up to 74 for a high, according to the EPS next Wednesday for Norfolk. And then they cool off into the low 70s Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and consistently remain in those low 70s right on through the 16th of October. But look over here on the right, though, at the Jeffs model. This is a 2.5 kilometer resolution. We see the warm up clearly indicated. We go up to 76 degrees for next Tuesday on this model. And then we drop off to cooler levels. So the Jeffs is cooler late next week. Temperatures are in the upper 60s for highs. And they maintain upper 60s all the way through about the 14th of October, get up to about 70 on the 15th, and then kind of maintain in that area. So Jeffs is cooler late next week. The European is not. The European is a little bit milder, like by about 5 degrees for late next week. So just keep that in mind. We'll see a cool down late next week nonetheless. It's just a matter of, how cool does it get? And so we'll continue to fine tune this as we get closer. Here is the Hampton Roads, specific Hampton Roads, Virginia cities forecast. We're looking at just a gorgeous weekend, everybody. Just get out there and enjoy it. Oh my gosh. Mostly sunny skies, high pressure, and complete control of our weather. Temperatures are going to be cool in the morning. You notice it's 59 on Sunday morning, but 74 tomorrow on Saturday, and then 76 on Sunday. Get out there, enjoy this beautiful weather. Monday warms up to about 78. Tuesday I'm going with 80 degrees, and you see partly sunny skies. So we got a few more clouds on Tuesday. Wednesday morning we're down to 66, but then by Wednesday we get that front to move through. By mid to late afternoons, we have some showers in mid to late afternoon with the frontal boundary. Temperatures get up to about 77. Then they drop off to cooler readings again by Thursday morning down to 59. And then you notice I kind of kept mostly cloudy skies in the forecast for next Thursday. It just depends on how close the front is to us after it moves through. Does it stall out? Does it go all the way down to the Carolinas and clear the coast? So right now I'm going with mostly cloudy and breezy conditions, more of onshore northeast wind behind the cold front next Thursday, high of 70, dropping down to 57 for Friday morning, and then back up to 71 with partly sunny skies for next Friday, the 10th of October. So overall, not much rain in the 7-day forecast for the Hampton Roads cities. We'll keep an eye on things. I will be back with this video most likely on Monday. So I'm wishing everybody, I will be updating this, by the way, over the weekend on the Spot on Weather site. You can go to my Weebly weather site here. I do update the 7-day forecast daily. So even if I don't cut a video tomorrow and Sunday, and I don't return to Monday, you'll still be able to get the forecast here at this website. So you're interested in figuring out what's going to happen for all your planning activities, what clothes you're going to wear. I mean, we're getting to the time of year where, you kind of got to go out the door in the morning with that light jacket on, and then you can shed that jacket in the afternoon. So, do you take an umbrella when you leave the house in the morning to go to work, or, whatnot, whatever your plans are? Keep looking at my website here, and I'll keep updating the forecast there on a daily basis. We do post daily forecasts as well on X. I do post them on Facebook as well. But my primary social media platform is X, and there's my handle right there, Euler Matthew 4. That's all I got for now, everybody. Until next time, take care and God bless everyone.